Welcome to Speed Scene Live TV, the only show dedicated to the sportsman racer. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, Hedman Hustler Headers, M&H Tires, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFoat.com. With your hosts, Diana Might, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, Alex Rogio, Bob Beck, Bryant Layton, with Donnie Couch and Dar Hawthorne.
Hey, welcome to the show tonight. Can you believe it? Scott Lucky Hudson is in studio tonight.
That's right. One of the best slackers in the world doing some work tonight.
And look at Bruce Barker, my favorite.
Wait, that's not Bruce Barker.
Oh,
That's Jed Clampett.
yeah, that's Bob Beck.
Story about a man named Jed, poor mountaineer.
Oh, we just teased you, Bob.
I
But,
know.
you're our
One day
favorite.
was
Of
shooting
course,
at some
Bruce
crude.
Barker at the controls got a little exciting here before the show. Had some issues, but
That's right.
like the old pro, he pulls it off.
Pull it.
Lucky,
When in
welcome
doubt,
back
whip
to
it
the
out.
studio,
I mean, pull it off.
You pull it out, yeah. Oh, and he
That's
still
what?
has time to play his air guitar.
Huh?
That too.
Now I was playing my air banjo.
Air
Up
banjo.
from the ground come a bubbling crude.
Bob Beck, that is.
Speaking of crude, how are we talking? What?
Bob Beck, that is.
Bob Beck, that is.
Yeah.
Oh, hell, we're
just
off to a
lovely.
great start tonight
Wow.
with Speed Scene Live.
Hey, there we go.
Look at that.
That's my kind of rat rod.
Well, you know, I do a lot of traveling around when I'm not in studio, and I want to thank you guys for holding down the fort while I go to car shows and drag races. And back in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, I ran into this truck at the Shades of the Pass
It doesn't show.
car show. And, you know, I looked at it, and it's my kind of truck, you know, kind of rusty and beat up. But, you know, it had a couple of subtle details that caught my eye.
Did it?
And I thought, well, why does that guy have something in the window to keep the back window from blowing out?
Because he's in NASCAR country.
So that kind of got me thinking. But anyway, we'll talk about that later, right?
That's right.
Well, I hope so.
Yes.
I mean, we got a whole hour, right?
We do.
Well, let's let Bob Beck or Bruce Barker, whatever his name is.
We've got the 2015 schedules are coming out, and we'll be talking about some of them throughout the night. And tonight we're going to talk about a little TNA on gas. T/A.
Well, see, right as you're doing that,
Yeah.
Bob,
Yeah.
notice what the seats on this truck are made out of. I stopped on kind of a blur, but there's a center pocket there, and I think
Yeah.
it's like
Levi's.
The
Yeah.
entire interior is made out of Levi's for your T.
Cool.
Well, mainly for the A.
yeah,
You know,
mainly
he
for
co-
the A.
So he
Even
copied.
the shifter consoles
Look
covered.
at that. Yeah. My God, he copied AMC.
I wonder if
the old Gremlin.
There you go.
Remember the Levi interior on those?
That was
Yeah.
the name of that,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Dar Hawthorne's son,
Yeah.
Zach Hawthorne, recreated a Jeep and a Gremlin for Levi's for their trade shows.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I did
That's
not
right.
know
I
that.
heard about
Yep,
that.
yep.
And but anyway, Bob, what are you
Yes.
going to talk about tonight besides Levi's and TNA? Oh, you already mentioned.
I
Sorry.
did, yeah. That's right. Not in that order.
You know, I don't listen to the show. You got to
Yeah,
remember.
we
that.
noticed that, yes.
I'm surprised you remembered how to get here.
Well, you know, even like music, you know, I never
That's
listen
how
to
you
the
had to
words.
help him.
Wow.
Dang, even the latches on this thing
Look at
are
this
weathered to look appropriate.
Yeah, but I mean the detail, the subtlety. Look at the hood. Now look at that hood. It looks like it's pancaked a little bit, cut on so it's on an angle.
God, this is the coolest.
That's
shark
so the rain runs off.
runs off better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't have to run rain gutters when
That's
you do that.
it, yeah.
Well, you know, I was asking the guy, you know, what's the story about this truck? And he says they do something like the Texas Mile,
Yeah.
where you start at a dead stop and see how fast you can go at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
So he's running a twin turbo.
Gee.
I think it's a 632 cubic inch, and it's more than your average farm truck. Let me just put it to
yeah.
you that way.
Yeah, plenty of room under the hood, though, to just do tricks like that.
Texas Mile, that's like a free-for-all down there. You see Lamborghinis and jet cars
The
and
big red
anything else.
Camaro and all kinds of cool cars. Hey, speaking about cool cars,
Yes.
I've already entered the March Meet online at thefoat.com.
Cool.
And you can buy your racer entry, you can buy your crew passes, and of course you can also buy your spectator tickets right there on thefote.com. Donnie, you going to be at the March meeting?
I think so. Yeah.
Are you bringing the studio?
The Speed Scene Live announcer studio will be in the pit area as it is at all events.
Nice.
At Auto Club Famosa.
Nice,
Right?
Nice.
Right.
Hey, coming up tonight on the show, a couple of weeks, we're going to let you know first, talking about the Dover Nostalgia Drags. What is it about the Nostalgia Drags is just rocking because of all the cool iron you see.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's going to be happening at Lebanon Valley Dragway, August 15th to the 16th. I know that's, it's a ways off. We are going to have the Santos team coming in live in studio. This is upcoming to talk about their car and this big crash at Verona. You guys have seen some, I think, footage and pictures. I have not. So that was a big deal, I know.
Oh, yeah, it was a big deal. And you know what? He had a big crash. It was nasty. We're going to talk about it. And we're going to talk about the resurgence of the new Santos car.
And he walked away to talk about it.
You know, and you got to admit, and I know, Donnie, you've seen a lot of this, cars that have caught on fire, crashed, and the driver's okay. I'll never forget interviewing Randy Walls at Bakersfield, and he sat in the pits after his car caught in this huge fire, and we're interviewing him, and we look down, and his shoes are still on fire.
Oh, yeah, they're still smoldering.
They're smoldering.
That was one heck of a fire Randy Walls had with that Nostalgia Funny car.
Unfortunately, that's his biggest claim to fame. He got the cover of Hot Rod magazine. His car's barbecuing itself as it goes down the track. It was a heck of a nice picture.
Well, it was a picture, and I guess it started leaking on the starting line, and then it got out of control. But
those leaks don't cure them.
I am Randy Walls, and when I'm not on fire, I watch Speed Scene Live.
Yeah, right on, Bruce. He did that drop that same day when I'm not on fire. Because we said, hey, Randy, your boots are on fire. Maybe I'll just take them off. Hey, we started a engine project called Project 406, and we're running a set of those Comp Cam lifters. And we're going to tell you, Donnie, you got them right there, don't you?
Yeah.
These are the
Cams.
Sportsman roller lifters. And finally, a company came out that's making high-quality lifters for us regular racers.
There you go.
And you get the high quality at a good price. You know, they've got large Edge Orifix metered pressurized oil feed for the roller wheel and the axle. This way you end up with a more reliable oil feed than a lot of the other companies. And Sportsman lifters, they have a shallower oil band so that, you get a little bit more strength and rigidity, and it helps to reduce the weight on these lifters. So they're made out of 8620 premium steel. You get better strength, you get better wear resistance, and they feature a captured link bar design, so you don't have any loose parts floating around. And these are great, great lifters. We can't wait to put them in Dynamite's Project 406 that Paul Williams from Paul Williams Specialties up in Bakersfield is building. And Donnie, I know you work on a lot of high horsepower cars. This is a nice quality item, isn't it?
Nice quality stuff you got going. In fact, Diana might, she could probably wear these for earrings at Christmas.
Yeah, and then she wakes up the next day and her ears are like a foot longer.
Comp Cams builds great stuff. A lot of great engineered product here.
You know, you can get a hold of Paul Williams at paulwilliamsspecialties.com or call him at 661-864-1632. And we've been running Comp Cam camshafts for years. We've had one in her car. We're putting a brand new one in just because everything else is new. The camshaft's fine. We're going to hang on to it. We'll use it in another motor. But Comp Cams is recommended a little bit more camshaft, and we're also switching over to that 7.4 firing order swap. You know, I did that on my motor, and I like it. Works good. Motor seems to run nice. I don't know, Donnie. Some people say you get some power. Some people don't. I just think the motor seems to be smoother and just happier.
Yeah, if all the top fuel guys have gone to that scenario.
Have
don't forget to change your spark plug wires to match that firing order.
That is a good idea.
I've seen that happen.
That is a good idea.
Yeah, it's ugly on nitro.
Well, and I'm glad to be swapping hers because mine's one way. Hers was the traditional, and I would go and I would work on her car, and I would be using my firing order, and it would never go.
So what you're saying is you and Diana are swapping.
We're doing a little swapping. Yeah.
All right, just to clarify that.
Trying to get a little more spark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, your age.
That'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got those little blue pills there. Like,
Who's got money for those?
Well, come on.
Anyway, you know, Donnie, we talked a lot about you and crew chief to the stars and being around all these nitro cars.
Narcs.
You recently were around some drag boats, and I think you were helping them actually get a world record.
Well, I hang around Eddie Knox, Problem Child, Top Fuel Hydro. Of course, we're sponsored by Phoenix Fuel Converter and Technicoat, and same people that are involved with Colettas. So I brought the whole Coletta crew down to Havasu, and didn't win the race. The race actually got blown out, but set the new world record at 262. Ran 260 the first run, backed up with 262 in 1,000 feet on the water.
Now, was it starting to get blown out, or were the conditions perfect when you actually set that record?
Conditions were perfect in the afternoon. It's hard to get 3 good days there with no wind at a lake, right?
Yeah.
But we got Friday, Saturday in, and then Sunday the final round got blown out. But we had second round, pedaled it, and maybe kicked a rod out.
How were the lifters? Are the lifters?
Yeah, the lifters were good.
Okay, good.
Lifters were good,
Well, didn't you get a chance to interview Daryl?
Daryl Ehrlich, the driver of this thing, one of the baddest pilots on the planet, 3-time world champion. Bruce, can you go to this video, please?
Here we go.
Lucas Oil Drag Boat Series here at Lake Havasu. We're talking with Daryl Ehrlich, the new world record holder. 262, Daryl, almost 263. How'd that feel, my friend?
Oh, she was a monster, man. It was just doing everything it's supposed to do. We had ironed out some bugs in the boat, and Eddie's getting all cocky and throwing a bunch of power at it, and she sailed. It felt good.
Well, I know the race didn't turn out like we wanted it to for you, but leaving with the world record, finally the weather took us out. Nobody was really declared in the winner's circle yet, as we know of, so not a bad day, at least coming out with the world record. I mean, you're the fastest man on the planet on water.
Yeah, there's a little bragging rights there, man. We wanted the points bad. I mean, this team is so jazzed up, so wound up about doing what we can do, and we keep getting knocked down every time we get a good dose, then something happens. But you know what? Man, we're not quitters. We'll just go keep pushing it, and we'll get our butt together, make this thing happen. It's going to be good. It is.
Well, Daryl, don't you see, like, the rest of the class is stepping up, competition's getting tighter. Hey, that's pretty good, you know. I know you guys have dominated out there and tied everything up, but now the class is stepping up. They're catching up to you guys, and it makes it for good competition for the fans.
Oh, there's no question. That is my ultimate dream. I want every one of these boats to run 340s and haul the mail, and the fans get the greatest show on earth. The driver has to do the job. You know, that's what this is all about anyway, right?
Yeah.
The team does everything to make that boat perfect. The driver's got to do his thing. This is good racing.
Hey, fastest man on the planet in a top fuel hydro, Daryl Ehrlich. Daryl, thanks for being on Speed Scene Live.
Dang, only one person can say fastest man on the planet.
It's pretty hairy, let me tell you. And there's, there's a handful of boats. There's maybe a dozen boats out there in the world that are competing at this level. And these guys that get in those boats, man, they got total respect from me.
Yeah.
You know, one time I went 70 in a boat at Lake Elsinore, and I thought, oh, man, I am just flying. I got to be going over 170. That was it. It just seems so much faster when you're on the water.
Well, Bob got sick at Disneyland on that little boat ride, the African Adventure.
They had
Safari.
to stop the submarine to let me out.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just...
That's why they took the submarine ride out.
They did.
Hazmat couldn't even clean it up.
Clean that up. And then there
Right?
was that small world ride. Oh, that was just hair-raising.
Oh, that's in a boat, too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And it's an old boat.
Well, Lucky, last time I saw you was down at Cruising for a Cure in Orange County at the fairgrounds.
That's right,
You
yes.
know, we did
yes.
an interview with you. I don't know if we played it because, or you couldn't tell me because you don't watch the show.
I don't know. I don't. Bruce, do you even have that? I don't think we even talked about that.
He's got it.
He went directly
He's
to
got a
archive.
nice interview, but I've got a better guy that I interviewed down there at the fairgrounds, Jim Mayer from Good Vibrations Motorsports, who happens to, sponsor the show.
His booth was right next door to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Guys really supporting drag racers and his customers. And hey, Bruce, can you roll that interview with Jim Mayer?
Speed Scene Live. We run into Jim Mayer. We're down here at Cruising for a Cure, Costa Mesa. Jim, a lot of people here, 3,200 cars on the property. Good Vibrations is also on the property. What does that mean as a company to bring your store out to the public like this?
Well, Donnie, whenever you get 3,500 hot rods here in Southern California, 30,000 people, you can't go wrong. This place is a happening event. Just looking around, whatever car you like, there's probably 5 of that style here, a lot of good vendors, and this event is for a great cause.
Well, Jim, we know that you got a great company there in Whittier, California, Good Vibrations Motorsports, but you've been on the tour lately, sponsoring IHRA and some other groups, and you've been traveling and putting that name out, and then you're also supporting the racers and the organizations.
Yeah, it feels good to kind of get back out there. We were kind of laying low for a few years, got burned out on the road, but now with my boy, he's getting the passion side. We're going more on site, supporting some of the bigger nostalgic events where we see those nitro nostalgic funny cars and the blown alcohol guys. So it's good to be out there rubbing elbows.
Well, you rub elbows with a lot of people, but also I want to point out, Jim, we got a new catalog here you just came out with, right? So how do people out there get your new catalog?
Well, getting the catalog's pretty easy. They can go on the website, dragparts.com, get yourself a free copy, or you can download it to your iPad or your smartphone. It's our 25th anniversary. We're proud to say we made it 25 years, so check it out. We got a sweepstake going. We're giving away prizes every month. Check it out. Any questions, give us a call. Toll-free tech support still.
Well, they got amazing tech support down there. You guys going to put a blower on your car or something like that? Not the easiest thing to do, but with Good Vibrations Motorsports, they got a tech crew there that can walk you through the whole deal, sell you the complete package. Also, dragparts.com, you can get your catalog. Hey, Jim, thanks for being on the show today.
Hey, my pleasure. Enjoy.
Hey, you know, Donnie, the thing that I found out about Good Vibrations is it's a great place that people can go to, not just to buy the parts, because, you know, they are good for that. But what they really excel at is people can talk to them. They recommend the right parts that all kind of go together, so you don't have to buy stuff and then go back later and buy other stuff. They set you up. They help you get set up the correct way, and when you put it all together, it works.
Well, and if you put it all together, they got that tech line. They got a young staff there, a bunch of kids. It's really a lot of energy pouring out of that building right now. Yeah. And the tech support is unbelievable, especially when you're putting a blower on your car. You've never ran one. You don't understand injectors and barrel valves and all that. They have all that information right there. So, hey, if you're going down that avenue with your car, you better get a hold of these guys at dragparts.com.
Yeah, and Jim Mayer was a racer himself. He raced the funny car.
He was big in the Sifka funny car.
He was the president of Sifka. He's been entrenched in the hobby and the sport for decades.
Yeah, I like that tech support. To me, that's a big deal because, oh man, sometimes you just got to get some help.
I like it because he's in Whittier, and I live in Whittier. Everything involves around Whittier.
Yeah, that's the center of the universe out here in SoCal, pretty much.
Yep, for the racing deal.
He visits Nixon on a regular basis.
Yeah. Hey, let's take a break, but when we come back, we're going to talk to famous artist Kenny Youngblood. He's got a website now called fuelcoop.com.
Yep.
We're going to get some inside info on the world of Kenny Youngblood.
Brett Wagner, host of Pastime, SpeedSceneRacing.com, Speed Scene Live. Are you kidding me?
At Aeromotive, we believe that performance means reliability, longevity, and durability. Being the best is no secret. By utilizing aerospace processes, procedures, technology, in-house engineering, true applications knowledge, and 3 generations of track experience, it's easy to see why we're the best. We take great pride in the fact that everything we sell, we design and make in the USA. See our entire line of fuel pumps and related products by logging on to aeromotiveinc.com. Aeromotive. We know it, we race it, we live it.
60 years. That's a long time for a company to do any one thing. Doing it right while sticking to your founding values. Now that takes hard work and dedication. For 60 years, Hedman's all-American workforce has been devoted to manufacturing the very best headers any team of craftsmen can build. That's 60 years of cutting, 60 years of bending, 60 years of welding, More than 2 million in all, and every set made right here at home. At Hedman Headers, we build all American horsepower, then back it up for life. Hedman Headers, made in the USA.
Hi, I'm Adam Sorokin. I'm the 2012 Nostalgia Top Fuel champion. When I'm not driving my race car, I'm watching Speed Scene live.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFote.com.
All right, welcome back to Speed Scene Live, high atop the Speed Scene Live studios in beautiful downtown North Hollywood, California.
I don't know why we're not in the studios. We're high atop them.
We're high atop them. Yeah,
and it's cold out, too.
It is. We can't get in. We didn't pay the rent. But alongside me tonight is the wonderful and always lovely Donnie Couch.
Lovely.
Lovely. His
lovely.
Just lovely.
I'm going to have to look that up in the dictionary because I thought it meant something completely different.
Yeah, well,
getting a little weird in here.
Donnie's picture is right alongside the definition in Webster's, and alongside him, always with us, and the man who brought Speed Scene to fruition, it's Scott Lucky Hudson.
Yeah, boy, it's great to be back in the studio, Bob. Thank you very much.
What do you mean he's always with us? It's the first time he's been back in the studio in 3 months.
Has it been that long? I didn't notice.
Yeah,
I haven't been watching.
That's like when somebody passes away. They'll always be with us.
Bob never watches the show.
Watches the show. That's
even when he's on the show.
Even when I'm on, I don't. I make sure of it. And trying to keep the cats herded and keep all the stuff working properly is Bruce Barker.
What? Me worry?
Yes.
Check his blood pressure right now.
Oh, through the roof. Yeah, through the roof, Alice. Yeah, to the moon.
That's right. Enough out of you, Jackie Gleason. Now, this is funny. Here's a tie-in that we can do later.
Yes.
Except for Buford T. Justice. We'll do the tie-in later, but of course, that's who it was.
Yes,
it was Jackie Gleason. So,
I'd have punch your mama.
We're gonna talk to Kenny Youngblood, but yes. I think you should go ahead and talk about Hot Rod Bob Beck and his T and his A's.
Yes. Oh. All right. Good evening, everybody. How you doing? I'm Hot Rod Bob Beck, and you're on Speed Scene Live. Tonight we're going to talk a little T&A, one of the most popular cars around. No, not the Ford T's and A's. The Trans Am, the Pontiac. It was introduced first in 1969, but only a handful were built in 1969. And one of the reasons Generous Motors got sued over using the name by the Sports Car Club of America. And they were the ones who had already registered the name for their race series called Trans Am. The settlement was, for every Trans Am built, Generous Motors had to spend and pay SCCA $5 per car.
Oh, no.
$5 per car. But the 69 Trans Am, the most rarest Trans Am of all, little over 600 were built. 177 of them were automatics. The rest were 4-speeds. It only came in white. It only had the hood scoops. It only had the blue stripes. It had some scoops on the side as well. And at that time, it was a 400 cubic inch engine, which in Trans Am was not legal. So Pontiac did not have a car in Trans Am. Now, there was a Pontiac that ran in 1969. It was Mr. Tullius, but it was a converted Camaro. They took the sheet metal pieces, the front and such, and put it on there and made it into a Trans Am car. It won the first race in 1969 and then never won again. But the 69 Trans Am, the most rare Trans Am ever built.
I did not know that. Hence the reason for the great American auto scene to exist. I did not know, for instance, it was available in just one color.
That's it.
Wow.
One color, one set of options, blue interior, blue stripes, and very rare.
Now, Bob, something you don't know is back in the 70s, I actually owned a 1970 Trans Am. And when I bought the car, it had blown up the 455 that it came with.
Yeah.
So I put a 69 400 in it that I got and built it. And it was a fast car. Did a lot of racing with that car. Had a lot of fun, and it looked like that one right there. And they drove so good. It had that real close ratio steering and the brakes and the suspension. Everything. It was a great car to drive.
Now, although the Firebird shared a lot with the Camaro, it was more stout. First off, DeLorean did his thing. the same as he did on the GTO. He beat Chevrolet to the punch. Where Chevy had the biggest engine they had was a 350 in 1967 until mid-68. Pontiac had the 400 right from the start.
Wait a minute. Are you saying DeLorean? John DeLorean?
Well, John DeLorean was the head of Pontiac with the days of the GTO. His influence kept on going after he left. And when the Firebird was introduced in 1967, it had a 400 cubic inch engine option. The Camaro, the biggest it had, was 350. So Pontiac again beat GM or Chevrolet to the punch with big motors. But the Trans Am came out and was an immediate hit. Europeans type styling, good handling, the big screaming chicken on the hood.
Screaming chicken.
And it immediately became popular. We talked about Buford P. Justice a little while ago, and there is why. The car that was made famous in the movies by Burt Reynolds in Smokey and the Bandit. That was the black Trans Am with the gold accents.
Where's that car now, Bob?
The original one is still in Burt's possession until it hits the auction block, I believe, soon.
You mean somebody could buy Burt's Trans Am?
Someone could buy Burt's Transy.
Dang,
and
what
you
do you
can
know?
do that.
Wonder what kind of condition that one's in, because Sally Field spent some time in that car. You know,
who knows
Talk
what
about
they did.
TNA.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Now, the Trans Am came in many different colors as time went on, and they always had the Screaming Chicken as a symbol. But one thing you might not know, there was even a turbo version of this car. Now, the other thing, to try and get into Trans Am racing with this, Pontiac came up with a 303 cubic inch motor, because the limit on engine size for Trans Am was 5 liter. Pontiac didn't have a V8 that small. They made a handful of 303s for racing purposes only. They were grenades. They didn't go any further, and you never saw another Trans Am racing Trans Am.
Interesting. Was that an engine family just specific to the 303, and did they borrow it from anything else?
No, they used the existing blocks. They had to use production blocks. There was no special engines at that point in time. It had to be production. You had to homologate it as a production vehicle. They tried reducing engine size to 303. The combination just didn't work in the Pontiac blocks. The Pontiacs are great with lots of cubic inches, but with little bitty cubic inches and high RPMs, they didn't work. So they came out with the 400, then the 455, and then they came out with a turbocharged car. And it was a small block of Chevy type persuasion. And the engine was supposedly on paper shared with a Camaro, but no one ever saw a Camaro with one, but there were a lot of Trans Ams with the turbo motors.
Now, this one does have the turbo badge, kind of hard to see, right behind the front wheel. And way down low, an even smaller badge that is the Indianapolis 500 logo.
Because they were the pace cars.
Okay.
They were a pace car in Indianapolis with these cars.
Didn't some of them have like a GT badge?
There was a GTA.
GTA,
which was their kind of upscale version of a Trans Am. It was a little more civilized.
More Trans Am-y?
More Trans Am-y, yeah.
Wow.
Then towards the end of the life of the Trans Am, which ended in 2002 with the stop when Generous Motors decided to stop producing the Camaro and the Firebird, a company called SLP, which does things much like Roush and Shelby, would do the end-of-line assembly on the Firehawks and Firebirds. And they became a little bit more potent than you got off the showroom if you got the SLP version.
You know, that really is a mean-ass looking car.
Oh, they were. In comparison to the Camaro at the same time, they had the pop-up lights, those snarly scoops on them.
Yeah.
People love those cars, and they had great power. But you know what? To me, this is what my car looked like. I had the black Trans Am like this.
Did you wear a black cowboy hat too, like Burt
I
Reynolds?
wasn't cool enough,
Yeah,
Johnny.
you did.
You know me. You know me.
Did.
I can see him with a mustache now.
I just wasn't cool enough. You know,
Punch
course,
your mama.
I was wearing my Angel Flight 3-piece suit, and my my platform shoes.
Polyester.
Yeah, now there we go. There is the Smokey and the Bandit edition. Now, a couple of people, year one, I believe, is reproducing a lot of, they're restoring some Firebirds now and calling them the Smokey edition, Smokey and the Bandit edition. Of course, it's upgraded with the current technology suspensions and larger wheels that resemble the Snowflake wheel that was on that car.
Sure.
And then Hurst has come up with a Firebird based on the current Camaro. With T-tops and everything. They showed it at SEMA this last year and the year before. And here's another earlier one. This is the single headlight car.
Yeah, that's it's got that Pontiac Ventura look on the front of it.
Yeah, and that was the theme of the Pontiac. You know, at the time, Pontiac wanted things to look alike. Here's a red version with, and I'm not sure that those are the correct wheels for a Trans Am, but these are shots taken at a car show of some of the cars, and you know, over time things get changed. And here's 3 generations of Firebirds. There's your second generation Firebird, which was the extension of the first Trans Ams. This is one with the Smokey and the Bandit headlights and so forth, which were the square lights they went to. Then there was the fourth generation Firebirds, and then the final Firebird at the end there.
Yeah, it's funny. The black one at the end. The black one at the end.
that
one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I see that one. You see that one?
Yeah, no, I didn't. Oh, way down there on the end, the black one.
The black one
to the other one.
Yeah, the other end.
That was the one that Jay Leno. I was driving that boat Lincoln about a year and a half ago. The one that caught fire, and he pulled up behind me and wanted to talk about it. Whatever. He was driving one of those, the most recent edition.
Boy, talking about dropping names on us.
Totally.
Yeah, Jay Leno. He used to pull over.
All right, but here's the Trans Am that started it all and never made it to the racetrack.
That's a good-looking car there.
They were, and the 69 was probably the best of the first generation, both Camaro and Firebirds. The Firebird had a little bit better rear suspension than the Camaro did, but and the big motor.
You know, it's a shame. You take a car like that, and since they dropped the Pontiac line, Firebirds got nowhere to go, Trans Am's got nowhere to go, and it was a great-looking car. So.
Oh, they were, and they had such a following.
Bob, you had some great guests tonight.
Thank you. I tried.
The Great American Auto Scene, brought to you by Bob Beck.
Bob's got gas?
Is
that what it says?
He's got the best gas. And don't you forget it. Hey, you know, the Pontiac Firebird's kind of an icon of the automotive industry. And, you know, Kenny Youngblood's sort of an icon in the world of drag nostalgia, graphics and paint. And
what a segue. You know, that time off did you good. You know, you got fresh material.
You know, at first the doctors, I said, I don't know, electricity, it doesn't seem like it'll help. But I really do feel better after all that electric shock.
Oh, good.
Hey, Bruce, we got Kenny Youngblood, as we promised, from the... what was that event? It seems like it was so long ago.
I don't know. I wasn't there. You know me.
Way back in the olden days.
That's right. Cruising for a Cure.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
I hear
Fairgrounds.
Good vibrations were there.
Yeah.
All right, Donnie Couch here, Speed Scene Live. One of the big attractions this weekend at Cruising for a Cure, Kenny Youngblood and his famous artwork. Kenny, we go to a lot of events. You've done a lot of drawings for people, but this has got to be one of the bigger one-day shows, right?
This is the biggest one-day car show in California, I believe, a charity show for sure. And what a beautiful day, Donnie. You know, I was sitting here as you were introducing me, thinking that we've both been around this deal a long time, and I don't think either one of us had any idea that we'd be involved as we have, and end up here on Speed Scene Line, of course. And what a great career and time I've had, and I know you too, huh?
Yeah, and of course, Kenny, you got a new venture out there, FuelCoupMagazine.com, right?
Yeah, thanks for the plug, Donnie. If you like nostalgia funny cars, a lot of people do.
I do, Kenny.
Yeah. We got a website, Fuel Coupe Magazine at FuelCoupe.com. It's strictly nostalgia funny cars. We focus on the newer teams with a sprinkling of the old ones. In fact, this month we've got our Legends issue with your former boss, the Snake, on the cover, so you can check it out.
Let me tell you. All right.
Yeah.
Right, our guy.
You betcha, man.
So I can't wait to read that article. But hey, Kenny, how many of these pieces of artwork will you personalize just for today?
Well, let's see. I can kind of figure that, Let's see, if it takes me 2 minutes to do one, that's about 30 an hour times however many hours we're here. If we're got people lined up, which quite often we're usually pretty busy. But how many have I done since first started doing this for Firestone, actually, from 12, 13 years ago? I don't want to know. We've done thousands. I want to thank Firestone for having us out here. And also, it's a special weekend. Our boss, Brian Caldwell, this guy that organized all this, and he's moving on, being promoted, moving to Chicago, and we're sure going to miss Brian, but bigger and better things for him, and who knows, maybe we'll be back next year bigger and better.
All right, one of the legends of the sport, my personal hero, and one of the best artists out there, Kenny Youngblood.
That was a pretty big event, huh, Donnie? The Cruising for the Cure. I know Hot Rod Bob was there. I was there. You were hanging out. Alex, the car girl, Rojo, she was working in the Hedman area.
The only one from the crew that didn't show up was Bruce.
Bruce Parker.
Yeah.
Bruce he never leaves the studio.
Yeah, well, he's afraid to. His car will catch on fire.
He's like that guy on Silence of the Lambs that stayed in the house all the time.
What, Hannibal Lecter?
No, Jamie Gump.
I gotta watch.
You have to go back and watch the movie.
The guy that said it puts the lotion on the skin. That guy?
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, that's not a good reference.
Hey, but all a good time. I even drove the Cadillac down there, the '67. Parked it next door
and
to
see,
Mr. Bob Best.
All I've seen is snapshots of that.
I saw the real thing in person. It does exist. It does.
It's a lot of fun, but
Okay, listen. I got a request here. They want to hear what happened at Match Race Madness. Okay, so Bruce, have you got some video that you could show?
Let's roll that video. Here it is.
Now here's the story. Had a great day. I had great competitors with Randy and Mo Wilson. Our cars were running identical times. We both ran 6:01 in the quarter mile or the eighth mile. Quarter mile. Would be nice. And so we're doing great. We came back. I won the first race. Randy won the second race, so we were coming back. It's 2 out of 3. It's all going to come down to that last race. But here's the deal. That weekend there was a storm kind of rolling around, some rain happening around the area, and the moisture started coming in on the track. It started to get late. I started noticing a lot of cars sort of sashaying around the track a lot, moving around, getting loose. And it wasn't the track prep. The track prep was great. Everything was good. Everything worked perfect in the track, but the weather got really dewy. And as it got late in the day, the dew started to get the track slippery. And I noticed a few cars get loose, and I went down the track, and my car got loose, which it never does. Bob, you see my car go down the track. Straight as an arrow. Okay, and for some reason, just the moisture, as I was staging the car, I'm looking down, and I'm thinking, wow, that track looks kind of shiny. And I took off, and my car went about 50 feet and made a hard right towards the other lane, and I knew that there was a problem. And I started thinking, I'm not sure what I'm going to do about this. It seems, I didn't want to. I didn't want to be stupid, which I know, but Donnie, that's a hard thing for me to do. But
hold back, Donnie.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, okay. No, come on.
My freaking head's going to explode. This is why I quit being a crew chief, because these drivers have these far-out excuses.
You're going to pop a
my hair hurts. I saw moisture on there on the track. Shut up and drive the car. I mean, that's why I quit. That's why I'm out of it. And they're trying to suck me back into it.
You're not out of it. You just switch.
These drivers. Well, they're like spark plugs. You screw them in and burn them out.
I'm glad he held back.
Some are a little more foul than others.
Yeah.
Now I'm watching the Santos car, and a lot of people in Southern California know the Santos car. Real fast, sport compact, great car, great driver. Here's the car. Watch this run here. This is our first pass. I'm in the right-hand lane.
Yep. I see you didn't have that trans brake lean out system.
No. I think I'm going to. Now look at the 601 to a 601. I mean, talk about close racing.
All right, what kind of reaction time, though? You looked like you got him on the start.
I was a little bit faster, but they were both very close. It was great racing. So what I did is I watched Santos go down the track. He got loose, slammed into the wall, barely missed the car in the other lane, tumbled 4 times sideways, flames popped up, the car was totaled. And so I went over to Randy. I said, Randy, I forfeit. It's your race. You get the win. And he didn't want to do it that way. He said, no, man, no, we can't. This isn't how, we each got one race. We got to finish it off. So we're going to come back. Here, bring the camera on to Donnie right here. Bring the camera.
Sissy! Oh, sorry, folks. Cold and flu season out here in L.A.
So Randy got the win. I pulled out, and I said, it's all yours, brother. So Randy wants to do a rematch next year, run it again. hopefully we'll run it a little earlier in the day before it gets too late.
Hopefully it's not raining in Montana or something, so we got excuses.
The sun got in my eye.
Right.
You know that
Close. Yeah.
one of my driver's shoes wasn't tied.
Got a hangnail.
I usually do
My
a
hair
double
hurts.
knot.
Yeah.
I had a staple in my head. I know it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Hard to believe, but there was an actual staple. I pulled it out.
Right on camera.
A lot of drama. You know, when I won the Media Challenge Championship, I didn't have that much drama. You know, I went out and I won the race. I got the trophy. I'm the spokesman for a whole year. I got to go back and defend my title. And it was raining. We had a earthquake. I mean, there was all kinds of stuff going on. I just went in and drove, did my deal.
Yeah.
I didn't get out and complain.
Well, you know, Donnie's more of a man than me, and I'll be the first to admit it, you know.
As Jack Nicholson said, I eat breakfast 300 yards away from 4,000 Cubans that are here to kill me.
In Whittier?
Yeah, and Whittier's a tough town.
That's true.
Hey, America's a tough town, Bob.
That's Whittier's exactly.
Exactly.
So anyway, we're going to come back. We've got more stuff. Bruce, let's take a break because I know Donnie wants to gloat a little bit.
A little?
And, well, a lot. He's going to need a couple minutes to get it all out. There'll be some profanity.
Are we going to cut it?
For over half a century, Currie rear-end components have been twisting out the torque and taking the punishment. And the new Currie lineup is stronger than ever. Some of the world's most capable, hardest-working vehicles depend on Currie gears, which is why you can too. Street cars, hot rods and resto rods, drag cars, rock-crawling four-wheel drive vehicles, whatever you're piloting, Currie expertise and rock-solid design means the parts will do their job, so you can do yours. Check out Currie's custom rear ends, featuring a full line of upgrades, components, and installation options. The Currie Crate rear ends lineup offers ultra-strong construction on third members and carrier assemblies. And other underside parts, like correct link steering systems, keep your four-wheeler pointed where you want it. Add in a wide variety of solid, purpose-built suspension and brake components, and you've got one tough, ready-to-go machine. Grab a hold of a Currie rear end. Talk to the experts at 714-367-2679 or view the complete line online at CurrieEnterprises.com. That has served to defend our great country and our freedom. All of us here in the United States of America would like to offer our sincere appreciation for all that you do and all that you've done. To every family that has made a sacrifice for us, we thank you.
M&H Tires, makers of racing tires that give you the best bite for the buck. You've paid a lot for that horsepower. Make sure you use it all. M&H Tires has the best compounds available for maximum traction. Go to mandhtires.com. That's mandhtires.com. Buy direct and save at the website and mention the Speed Scene for a 5% discount. That's right, mandhtires.com. Call them at 661-324-4773. M&H Tires has tech guys ready to answer your questions or to recommend the best tire for you, slicks or DOT. M&H Tires has it all. M&H were the first to create racing tires for muscle cars and also the first to create racing tires for sport compact cars. Legendary M&H Tires. Shop online, mention the Speed Scene, and save 5%. Get the best racing tires, great personal service, and save 5%. Go to mandhtires.com or call them at 661-324-4773. mandhtires.com.
Hi, my name is Damian Gardner, driver of the Scott Sales Alexander number 4 sprint car. And when I'm not at the track, I'm watching Speed Scene Live.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFoat.com.
All right, we mentioned that horrific Santos crash, and we're watching a little bit of it right now. This, I think, is going to be some burnout footage, and then we'll see what happens. I'm Bruce Barker. Welcome back to the show. Lucky Hudson is here. Donnie Couch is here. Bob Beck is here.
Yes.
You know, I just got to say, Santos is a great driver. His kids help him out with the car. I hate to call them kids because they're adults, but this is a very professional organization. These guys are winners. They're great people, and we're going to actually have them live in studio coming up soon, and we'll hear a little bit about what happened, find out about the crash, and find out what their plans for the future are, because they say they're coming back. Right, Bob?
Yeah, they are. Now, one of the things about this car, now, you're looking at a Toyota, folks, and don't cut this thing short of anything. It is a 5-second ET car. This is not just your little Econobox. And as far as import racers go, if he was running at, say, Pomona at the old import drags, he'd be one of the quickest cars out there.
Yeah. Here we go.
You see the popping, he's ready to leave. He was out in front on this Chevelle, too. There's his kids.
He actually won the race.
Yeah. But if you notice, as he was going down, that car was going every which way but straight, almost all the way down that track. And that car has such tremendous power. It's a 4-cylinder. There's no V8 in the thing. It's turbocharged. And they've got a group of guys that come out to Irwindale a lot. And those cars are so technically advanced over everybody else that comes out. It's just amazing to look at.
Yeah, it'll be great to talk to him in studio and find out more about it. But Donnie, you were talking to one of the leaders in the safety industry, Mr. Bill Simpson.
Yeah, and been hanging out with him. Spent Thanksgiving with him, and last week at Prudhomme's house, we had a Christmas party.
Names again.
Yeah.
Bill Simpson.
He's on the Mazda commercials now because he lit himself on fire at Indianapolis to prove to the drivers that his suits were safe. And Mazda, the latest commercials, has him in there setting himself on fire, recreating his enactment at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So we caught up with him at the Hot Rod reunion. He said it was the best time of his life. So let's check it out.
Walking around the pits today, we run into none other than Bill Simpson. Bill, welcome to Bank Shift Live.
Hi, how you doing, man? Thanks for having me here.
Hey, well, thank you for coming here, buddy. Hey, you look around, Bill, you see all these cars. Yeah. You're the big innovator in safety for most of this drag racing series here. How's it feel when you look at all these old cars, see all our old friends?
I'm telling you something, man. I'm pretty impressed with this whole deal. I was just on the phone with a guy in Indianapolis, and I said, you need to get out here. You need to take a look at this because this is probably one of the most impressive motorsports deals that I've seen in a long, long time. And it's good to see all my old pals. I haven't seen them 20, 30 years.
We need to get Junior Kurtz here, right? We better make a phone call. Of course, he's up there fishing, right, in Montana?
Yeah, he's in Montana fishing, and I don't think we'll be seeing much of Junior.
No, he's over it.
Yeah.
He doesn't have his bus no more. But, Bill, stepping into the world of football, making helmets, how is that path going?
Yeah, it's a lot of politics involved, but our product is doing well, and it's being well received. So it's just a time thing,
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say about that. It's a long process. I'm interested in only working with the kids. I could care less about the NFL, even though that's a really pretty big deal. But I think that all the kids are more important than that. Keeping them guys from getting hurt.
Yeah, keeping the youth there. Of course, that's all you hear about is concussions and stuff. And you know that you are the top innovator out here for drag racing, NASCAR, IndyCar, and now football. We wish you luck, Bill, and thank you for being on Bank Shift Live.
Oh, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it.
All right.
Now, Donna, you always do such a great job on bank shift out at Bakersfield. Will you be doing that for the March meet coming up?
You know, I never know. I have to talk to my agent, Dar Hawthorne.
You know, I think that although I watch all their stuff, I watch their Streetcar Super Nationals, I watch a lot of their races, the best ones are when you guys get in there and you talk to the drivers, you get some insight. You know, it's not just watching cars. I like to hear about the people and hear the stories behind the cars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty fun, and the teams all like being on Bank Shift Live or Speed Scene Live or any kind of exposure. There's no TV package out there. There's us, so you know, we're the big dogs out there, and they really enjoy the shows that they're on. I mean, we're the only ones bringing nostalgia racing.
ESPN ever talked to any of the nostalgia funny? John Hale on ESPN, winning tons of races, crossing over to different organizations and. Nothing, huh? Fox News, Sports Channel,
History Channel,
Sports no,
History Channel. No, it might be time for that.
Mav TV,
no.
Velocity,
no. You know, I think
Speed Scene Live.
Thank God for us.
Bank Shift Live,
that's right.
God bless America.
And Bank Shift Live, they do a great job. They work hard. They stream all that stuff, and I love it when people send me a text on Facebook. Hey, just watched your car go down Bank Shift Live, and it's great.
Well, it's a lot of fun to go to Bakersfield. Of course, that'll be here in March, right around the corner.
No time.
Time's flying.
Time flies by fast. You're having fun, doesn't it?
Hey, you ran into one of your fans the other day. What was that girl's name? Yvonne
Schaffler. We were at the SEMA show. She was working with the booth. This girl is incredible. We're down there at the Phoenix Fuel Converter. Cowboy Bob, Chip Foose. We're all in the same booth. And interesting, these girls are on a circuit doing the car shows and the SEMA show. In fact, she just did the LA Auto Show, aspiring gal that wants to get into what we do. So maybe one time we'll have her in the studio. But let's check her out there, Bruce. Pretty cute.
Hello, I'm Yvonne Scheffer here at the 2014 SEMA show in Las Vegas, representing the Phoenix Fuel Converter. I'm here at the Phoenix Fuel Converter booth, and it has been such a wonderful week. We have a lot of great things going on, but most of all, just the feedback for our device has been so remarkable. We're so excited. A fuel converter that is going to give you better fuel economy, reduce emission, more horsepower. I mean, everybody that has this on their vehicle is claiming to get 3 extra miles per gallon on the highway on top of what they get now. I mean, this is going to save you money at the gas pump. It's just such an incredible, I mean, this little device does all that. It's just it's awesome. So I'm really excited to be here. Chip Foose will be at our booth today at 2 o'clock signing autographs. Also, he has his, this is actually, this isn't his, but we have a Chip Foose fuel converter as well. So we're excited for that. Lots of great things going on here at the 2014 SEMA show. Stop by our Facebook page. Be sure to like us, comment, and we will get back to you then.
And Donna, you did a good job talking about that Phoenix fuel converter, and I know a lot of people are talking about it because unlike other products that have come and gone, this product actually works.
Well, it's my boy Cowboy Bob and Chip Foose are involved in it, and it's Bob's company. Chip's endorsing it with his old brand.
Again.
I know. Chip Foose.
I started.
I've heard
Jay
of him.
Leno,
He's got a little show or something.
A little show,
out there.
He's draws cars.
He put one on my truck, and I saw the results that they're talking about: 3 or 4 more miles a gallon, and more performance. I don't know about the emissions.
What about for the truck?
But I know they're putting on Coletta's semis, and the emissions went away. No more black smoke. They put them on yachts. They put them on locomotives. And a big thing with the diesels is the emissions, and we all know where that's going with the Green Planet stuff. But
where can people go? Is there a website that people can get more information?
Fuelconverter.com.
Nice.
They can go to that. And then we're also, I'm doing a deal with Chip Foose. We're going to be filming some other stuff down at his studios down there, which is pretty fun. And more fuel converter stuff and more Chip Foose on Speed Scene Live. digging down those questions our fans want to hear.
You know, you guys keep name dropping, and the only name I've got to drop is Donnie Couch. I know Donnie Couch.
You know Diana might.
Well, that is true.
We think.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We haven't seen him with her in a while.
We've heard the rumors.
Yeah. We had to buy her some lifters, or no, you know.
Yeah.
And a cam.
Oh, for the car.
Is that for Christmas or?
No, it's not.
No,
It's
you're still on the hook for that too.
No, it's for Christmas 2017 actually.
Yeah.
You know, because it takes a while to put together a quality motor. Luckily, I'm not putting it together this time. Paul Williams of Paul Williams Specialty using Comp products. But hey, let's not talk about that because I want to talk about Industry Hill Speedway.
Yeah.
They have their opening night coming up May 27th.
Already?
Industry Hills. I like to go every Wednesday night. They got great food. You can get adult beverages. You can bring the kids. The race action. It's fantastic. Donnie, you hang out there sometimes too.
Oh, quite a bit, buddy. And track champion Billy Gennaro this year and state champion. Of course, him. He had the Speed Scene Live stickers. Dan Horan, Speed Scene Live stickers. And Damian Gardner, who we saw earlier do a PSA.
Yeah.
Speed Scene Live stickers on his car. They all won championships. I'm just saying for your other riders out there. But the guys won everything. We did a little clip out there. For our fans that haven't seen Speedway races, it's 4 laps. They got no brakes. And we'll be inside calling the race. And then a quick interview with Billy.
Oh, that'd be great.
We're restarting the main event. Billy Hamill, Mad Dog McConnell, and Billy Gennaro from the outside. Here we go, folks. The main event. Hamill takes the lead, but Gennaro's on the outside. Gennaro pounds it. He's on the outside. Pulls in tight. Hamill second. Mad Dog third. Billy Hamill slides it in there. Inches from Gennaro. He tries. He's looking on the outside. He's looking on the inside. Watch him fly it in there. They're flying it in there inches away from each other. Gennaro looks back, said, "No way, Hamill, am I letting you in?" Takes a white flag. It's Gennaro. Hamill comes flying in there. He's got one more shot. Gennaro looks back again. Got Hamill right on his butt. But it's going to be Billy Gennaro. Billy Hamill second and Mad Dog McConnell third. What an event. The fans are going crazy here. The fans are absolutely going crazy here tonight, folks. Woo-hoo. Hey, Donnie Couch, Speed Scene Live. Another win for Billy Gennaro. Epic battle again. Battle of the Billies. I know earlier on in the heats, he got you on one of them. Looks like you went in pretty hard. Almost went down, but you saved it. But in the end, the main event, you come through again, my friend.
Yeah, the track was really slick on the inside tonight, and there was a lot of grip on the outside. And in our fierce heat, Hamill had gate 4 and I had gate 1, and it worked out the opposite in the main. You know, I had gate 4 and he took gate 1. He probably knew he should have took gate 4, but that's racing. You know, sometimes you make the right decision, sometimes you don't.
Hey, I got to ask, Charlie, ran through the tapes, and you guys are all psyched up and going, and, what does that do to you guys? You're all psyched up, got that adrenaline flowing, they break the tapes, and then now you got to just wait for them to repair it and jump back in there.
Yeah, it breaks your focus. You're focused on that start because that's probably the most important part of the race. So when that happens, you just got to come back around, stop thinking, and get back into focus mode. And it's exactly what we did tonight.
Well, we appreciate you being on Speed Scene Live and another event. We appreciate you coming down from up north, Auburn, and great having you here. I know there's a lot of people that want to get a sponsor to keep you away from this track, but that's not us. We love you down here, and a great show no matter who wins down here. It's epic battles, and thanks for being on Speed Scene Live.
Oh, thank you. Just came down and put 100% effort and put on a show, so that's why we're here. Thanks, Speed Scene Live.
Donnie, that's so exciting. These guys are hauling ass. They've got no brakes. They're sliding sideways most of the time. And as the guy crosses the finish line, he pulls a wheelie.
epic rider right there, one of the best riders in the world. Of course, he won the Monster Challenge, and hopefully we got that coming up. But it's that Speed Scene Live logo in Turn 3 that they look forward to seeing.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
It's like a guiding light to them.
And don't forget, May 27th, the opening night. That is actually the Connor Penhall Memorial Cup. And it's a big night, and then racing every Wednesday after that for the whole season. We're going to be down there. I know Donnie will be there. I'll be there. Who knows? Maybe even Hot Rod Bob will come on down.
I will try to make it for sure.
We'll get him in his Corvette to maybe make a pass around the dirt track. I'll take the brakes off.
Will you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, Connor Penhall, son of Bruce Penhall. We all know him from Chips. Of course, champion Speedway rider himself. Connor was killed doing construction on the 10 freeway there in El Monte.
Drunk driver.
Drunk driver. So
that's what it was. I'd not heard the cause.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a sad deal. Left behind a family, young family, young guy, but his dad, a legend.
Yeah, we're losing a lot of legends now. We just lost Raymond Beadle, who's the driver of the Blue Max, and we got together in Dallas, Texas, and sent him off. Raymond was a good guy. He ran, NASCAR, won the championship in NASCAR, which is unheard of. And, of course, championships with the funny car. Here he is with the snake, and Bob McClellan, or Dave McClellan right there, laughing it up with Donna Perdome. Richard Thorpe there with them, two good buddies there. But, again, we're getting phone calls that sometimes you want to answer your phone because we're losing a lot of our legends now. And Raymond Beadle, one of the best.
Well, sad to see him go. Luckily, we've got new guns coming into drag racing all the time. Great new drivers like Alex, the car girl Roggio, who hosted the show last week and did a great job. I saw a post a couple days ago that said she was voted one of the top 10 hottest female racers on something. I wish I had it in front of me.
I am not surprised.
Be happy to mention that.
Got a nice set of wheels on her.
Check out her website. Just Google Alex the Car Girl Roggio or go to Mopar Max. She does a blog on there all the time. Next week, Diana Might will be live in studio. We will be talking to the Dover Drags, and we're looking forward to bringing on the Santos team. How about Dina Parisi and her Pro Mod?
Yes.
She'll be on in the next week or two.
Nice.
She's at PRI right now. She's got the car, who she's named Stella, on display at PRI.
That's great. Haven't talked to her in a while. It'd be good to catch back up.
She's a funny lady.
We're going to have her. She's got a brand new shop located in Pennsylvania that you can go to get your car, your race car worked on. We're going to find out all about that. Donnie, Bob, thanks. You guys did a great job.
Thank you.
It's not being in here very often. I need a lot of help when I do come back.
Surprised you remembered us, but hey, we'll be at Moon Eyes this Saturday.
Yes, we will.
And then everybody's invited to Bob Beck's house for Christmas.
You got it. No problem. I've got my racetrack set up at the house. We'll even race in the
Yes, we can hear some more
That
slot car
sounds great.
reports.
Yes, we can.
Good. Hey, he's actually got people on his slot car
I
track.
do. And coming up soon, no, never mind.
Yeah.
It looks like a bad. It looks like a
road course.
Go ahead, say it. Spit it out.
What's that
Spit
racing
it
where
out.
you don't go straight?
Well, when you're not on the show for a while, you just kind of stutter. Maybe he's got a bad magneto.
He just brushed his teeth and he can't do a thing with them.
I need that trans brake lean out, that good vibration.
Yeah, you're running a little rich.
Yeah, I'm going to have to give them a call. Now that I heard about it on Speed Scene Live, and
if you would have watched the show a month ago,
I just wish you do a better job of explaining things for us that don't hear that well.
Huh? Wednesday. Remind me to slap your mama.
Hey, I want to thank all the people at thefote.com for the crew updates tonight, and we'll see you next week. You guys, thanks a lot. Been a great night.
The Encore Show comes up next. Thanks for joining us, and we're back in a week right here at Speed Scene Live.
Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online motorsports TV show. Brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and thefote.com.